Thank you. My very first year covering high school football in Central Georgia was 1982, and our next inductee was a player on the 1982 Married Persons football team. Now, I'm not implying he's old, but I will imply he was very good. He was tenacious. He was a beast. He was a linebacker. He was a captain. He was the leading tackler. He was All-Middle Georgia. He was a North-South All-Star. Helped his team get to the state championship on 2 different occasions. In the spring, he ran track, where he was a state champion in the 400, or region champion in the 400 meters, one of the most difficult events there is. He went on to West Georgia, where he played safety, and then a long career as an administrator and a coach. He led by example, and his excellence impacted the lives of countless of people. And tonight, we want to say thank you by inducting him into the Forsyth-Monroe County Sports Hall of Fame, class of 2026. Please welcome Calvin Scandrett.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you to the Forsyth-Monroe County Sports Hall of Fame. It is indeed an honor to be here. I look around the room to see some of the young people here, and this is something that they're probably going to dream of. When I was coming through, it wasn't there. There was a wall of fame in the school that was there, and I got a chance to see some great players on that wall. One of the people that was there was a guy by the name of Buzz Porch, who was a coach there, and another guy was Bodie Davis, who was on there. These guys inspired me to dream about being a Wall of Fame type player. I remember one pregame meal going to Coach Pitts. We ended up standing out in the lobby together, and I told him, I said, one day, I want to be on that wall. And he simply replied, I hope you make it. I hope you make it. And I was fortunate enough to make it there. And golly, I never thought of this. It wasn't around. When we started doing this, I think 9 years ago, I saw some names, some very worthy people to be there. And I'm like, man, I don't know if I did that much. I made some plays and had some good times there, but I don't know if I am worthy of that. So I'm thankful, grateful to be here. I had some things I wanted to say, but I think I can get everything out. I have a lot of people here. We spilled over with 2 tables and a little bit more, and I didn't get here by myself. I had a lot of issues coming up. A lot of issues. I stand before you. I was a shy guy. I faced a lot of adversity. Lost my parents divorced when I was 3rd grade. Lost my dad when I was 11. Just went through a lot. Probably needed. Today they have counselors. I probably needed a lot of it. I probably needed a lot of it. Those that know me here, you can attest to that. This community helped me. This community helped me. So I want to talk about that a little bit, but before I do that, I didn't get a chance. My wife helped me to write my little bio, and I didn't get a chance to put her on there. When I'm talking here, I'm talking about 17 years of my life. I'm talking about 17 years. That was it. I left to go to college. I was 17 years old. I turned 18 in college on September the 30th. So I was very, very young. But what I want to say is, when I need to talk about my family, because I didn't get a chance to talk to them about them before. My wife is the best thing that's happened to me since I left for Cyprus. We've been married for 35 years. Come June 22nd, 35 years. My parents got divorced. What I learned from that is, and Dennis and Jane, my siblings, they'll tell you a different story. The first time I heard my parents argue was the last day I saw my daddy at that house. So hopefully my kids can tell you that they never heard their parents argue. I said that we haven't. Lesson here, just don't do it in front of your kids. Don't do it in front of your kids. Forsyth taught me that. My parents taught me that. So my wife, Andrea Scandrett, Dr. Andrea Scandrett, can you stand? Best thing ever. My son, Thomas Scandrett, I used to call him a speech teacher, but he doesn't like that. He's a speech pathologist. Him and his wife, Shalise. Will y'all stand? And my grandson. Thomas was a pretty good football player, really good football player, all state, all conference in college. He was a kicker. Made some very big kicks over in Warren County for us. My daughter, Madison. Will you stand? Soccer player, basketball player, and Lamar. She was very good. Worked hard. We spent a lot of time in the gym getting better. Madison's getting married next week. Guy beside her is Jordan Williams. They're going to get married next week, June 20th. Congratulations. Other family members, I have my sister, she's the oldest. She's 8 years older than me. Jane Pennington, you probably know from Allstate. Probably the best athlete in the family. Did a big free throw one time and had the whole gym rocking. And my brother, Dennis Scandrett. Dennis played on the 1980 state championship team. He was a defensive signal caller. He wasn't a captain, but he led that defense. One of the best football players I know. Taught me a lot about the game of football and has taught me a lot about life. When I needed a father, he was there for me. When I needed somebody, when I needed some direction, he's always provided that for me. Thank you. His wife, Grace, is here, and Jane is here with her son, Mark. I want to recognize him too. Mark, and these next few people are some big thank yous. Big thank yous. I'm going to start with my mother's sister, my Aunt Kizzy Mae. Great role model, very active in the church. I used to help her a lot with a prayer breakfast, doing tickets and stuff like that. I think she thought she bothered me, but it was an honor to do anything for her. She was a follower before we had social media. She kept pictures. She clipped out articles of anything that we did, whether it was me, Dennis, or anybody in the family. She collected those. You can go to her house now and probably see a picture of me in a football uniform. Thank you for that. She's here with her daughter, Maretta. Maretta told me a few years ago, she said, Calvin, you were so shy, we thought something was wrong. She probably, like I said, she was right. She definitely was right. Then I go to my dad's side of the family. I have my aunt, Alma Davis. True Bulldog fan. If you came to a game in the 70s and 80s, she was sitting on that business side, raising holy havoc at the opposing fans. She was there getting it done. She was that 12th person. When I was young, going to games, that's her, Alma Davis. When I was young, going to games, watching some of the great players, I see Darryl Ogletree here. Next up behind me, I think, is Ken and Shannon. When I was young, going to watch them play, she used to make sure that I could get on the bus with my aunts and uncle, and they would take care of me, make sure I had food, make sure I had something to drink, make sure I had a great seat. They took care of me. When my mom decided to go back to school, when I was young, my 8th, 9th grade, she used to let me come to her house. I just go to her house and stay there while my mom was in school. So I just thank you for looking after me. Really, really, and truly appreciate that. With her today, 2 sons, Danny Davis, played on the state championship team in 1980, was a kicker. I ended up kicking in high school, passed that on to my son, who I said was an all-state kicker, all-conference kicker in high school. It started in the backyard with Danny Davis and Nate Davis there. Nate said he was a punter. I remember punting with Nate. We used to punt over the trees in the backyard to get height and distance. Now, he said that he kicked about like me. All the difference was he said that he was pretty good kicking at pregame. When I kicked in pregame, I did so terrible sometimes. Coach Pitts would just say, "Stop kicking. Just stand there." That's when I kicked my worst at pregame. But I learned a lot of techniques that I was able to pass on later on in life. In my career, I've coached several all-state punters because of the things that they taught me in the backyard. Next is my Aunt Margaret, just nurturing. Even when I go to her house today, just nurturing. At my house, they like to put those plugs in the wall. And I'm just as allergic to them as I can be. They make me sneeze. But my family doesn't believe that, so I have to hide them from them. But when I go to my Aunt Margaret's house, she immediately goes and unplugs them for me. Immediately. She said, I know they bother me. And she's always been that way. Like I said, help me get on those vans and buses and stuff like that. She's here with my cousin Tammy, who's a couple of years younger than me, who's a friend, very dear friend, gave good advice, even though she was a couple of grades below me in high school, helped me along the way. Scooter, Walter Clemens, my aunt's son is here, true Bulldog fan, keeps me informed, send me pictures of all the nice stuff that you've built here and have going on. Let's see. And I have my traveling buddies, Gerald Kemp, Latanya Kemp. They're big Scandrett supporters. Gerald actually saw me play a high school game. We met in college. Him and my brother sitting back there together. They were college friends. But Gerald came down and watched me play when I was in high school. And we ended up being roommates, I guess. I don't really say roommates because I didn't pay full rent. I stayed there with him. He allowed me to live there. But great friends. And then, last but not least, I am a pastor. I have a man of God here that took the time out to come be with us today. He's new at the church. I think we've worked on 2 years. We have been attending the church for about 20 years, and when he came, we finally joined. We're building something good there, building a good relationship between the two of us. I'm very appreciative of what he's poured into my life here. So that's pretty much all I have to say. I just had to say thank you. I'm sorry. One person, this is very important. One person, Miss Mary Walker, where you staying? I asked her to come here because when my father passed away and he was killed at his nightclub, some of you in here know this story. Her son, the late Derek Hanson, helped me get out of the house. I was so terrified so terrified to go out of the house. It was July. School back then didn't start till like the third week of August. I was in that house. There was a white car that used to park in front of our house. And we used to call the police a lot. Her son, Derek, started coming to the house, hanging out with me. And I started going back outside. They used to allow me to come to the house, and at night, she made these pancakes. She made these pancakes. It was the whole pan. I've never seen anything like it. Never seen anything like it, and they were great. Do you still do that, Mr. Walker? I'm coming back.